It's finally happening. The moment your spirit has been sensing is here. This Thursday is not just another square on the calendar. It's a divine turning point, where God will step into your life and place something extraordinary into your hands that will shift your path forever. He has seen the silent battles you fought, the tears no one else noticed, and the prayers you've whispered in the dark when no one was around to hear, and now he's about to act. Something you have been waiting for, maybe an opportunity, a blessing, or a breakthrough, will be released into your life, not to overwhelm you, but to elevate you, because the next chapter of your destiny requires resources, favor, and doors that only He can open. On Thursday, answers will come, promises will unfold, and you will finally see what He has been preparing for you all along. Every emotion, every unexpected conversation, every sudden shift will be part of His plan. Nothing will be random, everything will be intentional, and in a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly why this will happen, and how you can be ready when it does. So stay with me until the end of this message, because you need to hear this. But first, I want you to do 3 things right now. Like this video, write 777 inches in the comments, and share this with someone you care about, so they too can be prepared for what's coming. There are moments in life that change everything, and most of the time they arrive without warning. But this is different. God has been speaking to your spirit, preparing your heart, stirring a quiet expectation inside of you. You felt the restlessness, the sense that something is about to shift, even if you couldn't explain it to anyone else. That's not your imagination. That's the Holy Spirit revealing that heaven's schedule has reached a moment that involves you directly. This Thursday, August 14th, is not random. It has been marked in the timeline of your life, long before you were even born. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour you have experienced was orchestrated to bring you to this exact point. And now the door that was once locked is about to swing wide open. For some, what's coming will look like a sudden opportunity, an email, a phone call, an invitation you weren't expecting. For others, it will be a gift that answers a prayer you have carried for years, maybe even decades. It could be healing in your body, reconciliation in a relationship, unexpected financial provision, or a divine connection that shifts your future forever. But no matter how it shows up, it will carry the unmistakable signature of God's hand. You will know, because it will arrive with peace, not chaos. It will confirm what He has been whispering to your spirit in those quiet moments when you were ready to give up, but chose to hold on just a little longer. Think about what you've endured to get here, the nights you laid awake wondering if God still heard you, the days you smiled on the outside while inside you were carrying a weight that felt too heavy to bear, the seasons where it felt like everyone else was moving forward while you were stuck in the same place. But chosen one, you were never stuck. You were being prepared. God was not holding you back. He was building you up. He was teaching you patience, deepening your trust, and stripping away the things that could not go with you into the next chapter. Because the blessing you are about to receive isn't just for this week, it's for the rest of your life. It's the kind of shift that changes everything about how you live, how you see yourself, and how others see you. And I need you to hear this. The size of your blessing will match the size of your battles. The greater the warfare you've endured, the greater the reward that's on the way. This is why it's been so hard lately. The enemy could sense what was coming, and tried everything to weigh you down before you got here. He sent distractions, delays, and discouragement to try to make you quit. But you didn't quit. You kept moving, even when it was only one small step at a time. And because you stayed faithful, God is about to honor you publicly for the faith you showed privately. On August 14th, be watchful. Small things may happen early in the day that seem ordinary, but later you will see they were signs, gentle nudges from heaven letting you know you are on the right path. A conversation may reveal exactly the confirmation you've been seeking. A door you thought was permanently closed may suddenly open. Something you lost hope in may spring back to life. Pay attention, because God speaks in both whispers and wonders, and this Thursday, you may experience both. And when it happens, I want you to remember that nothing is coincidence. Every detail will be intentional. Now I know some of you are thinking, what if I miss it? What if I'm not ready? But you are ready. You have been made ready by every challenge you've overcome. God will not bring this to you if you weren't prepared to carry it. You don't have to strive for it or chase it down. You simply have to recognize it and receive it when it arrives. This is not about working harder. It's about stepping into alignment with what has already been prepared for you. So in these days leading up to Thursday, I want you to prepare your heart. Let go of bitterness. Release the weight of old wounds. Clear space in your mind and spirit, so there is room for this blessing to take root. Speak life over yourself. Thank God in advance, even before you see the manifestation. That posture of gratitude will not only prepare you to receive, but it will multiply what you receive, because when God finds a grateful heart, He pours out even more. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one that will be filled with moments you once thought were impossible. And when Thursday comes, and the shift happens, you will understand why the wait was so long, why the path was so hard, and why the timing had to be perfect. You will see that every tear, every delay, and every unanswered prayer was leading to this moment. This is your appointed time, and nothing, and no one can take it from you. August 14th is not just a date you will pass through. It is a moment heaven has circled in red since before your first breath. There are dates in history when the world shifts, and for you this Thursday will be one of those days. You may wake up that morning, and everything might seem the same at first. The same walls, the same street, the same routine, but deep inside, your spirit will feel the electricity in the air, the sense that something unseen has already begun to move. This is because God doesn't wait for the visible to make His move. He works in the invisible, and by the time you see it, it's already been settled in heaven. Some of you will look back on August 14th, for years to come, as the day when everything started to change. You will tell your children, your friends, and anyone who will listen, that was the day God shifted my life. For some, it will be the day you received a phone call that opened a door you never dreamed possible. For others, it will be the day a long-awaited prayer was answered in a way so perfect that it left you speechless. And for a few, it will be a moment so intimate between you and God that no one else will ever fully understand it, a personal miracle meant just for you. This day carries weight in the spirit, because it is tied to promises that have been maturing over time, like fruit ripening on the branch. God has been pruning your life, cutting away dead branches, removing relationships and situations that no longer serve your growth. It may have hurt at the time, but those cuts were necessary to make room for new fruit to grow. And now, on August 14th, the harvest begins. This is not the harvest of a single seed. This is the multiplied harvest of every seed you've sown in faith, every prayer whispered through tears, every act of obedience when it would have been easier to walk away. Pay attention to the hours of that day. You may notice small details, a stranger smiling at you in a way that feels significant, a song playing that speaks directly to your heart, a sudden thought or idea that seems to come from nowhere but brings deep clarity. You may find that certain conversations happen by accident that lead to unexpected opportunities, but remember, nothing will be by accident. Every interaction, every shift in atmosphere will be a piece of a bigger plan being unveiled. I want you to go into that day with expectancy, not anxiety. Expectancy says, I know God is up to something good, and I'm ready to receive it. Anxiety says, I'm afraid I might miss it, or it might not happen. The difference between the two is trust, and this is your moment to trust like never before. Trust that what God has promised, He will deliver. Trust that His timing is perfect down to the second. Trust that no human hand can close the door He's about to open for you. Some of you will notice resistance in the days before August 14th, unexpected challenges, small irritations, maybe even people trying to provoke you into conflict. Don't take the bait. This is the enemy's last attempt to pull you out of position before the blessing arrives. Stay calm, stay focused, keep your eyes on the promise, not the problem. Every time you feel tempted to react, remind yourself, I am too close to my breakthrough to get distracted now. And when the moment comes, when you recognize the blessing arriving, when the phone rings, when the email lands, when the conversation shifts, don't hesitate. Step into it boldly. Say yes. Move forward. The time for preparation is over. The time for action has come. August 14th is the day to cross over into what you've been praying for. But remember this, the gift God gives you that day is not just for your comfort, it is for your calling. He is equipping you for the next phase of your destiny. The resources, connections and favor He's releasing will empower you to fulfill assignments that go beyond yourself. This is why the blessing will feel bigger than you, because it's meant to be shared, to overflow into the lives of others. The miracle is not just in what you receive, but in how it will multiply when you walk in obedience. So write it down. Thursday, August 14th. Mark it in your calendar. Speak it out loud in your prayers. Begin thanking God for it today, as if it has already happened, because in the spiritual realm it has. And there's something remarkable about this day that goes beyond the human calendar. On August 14th, the moon will be at its closest point to the Earth in its orbit, what astronomers call perigee. In the natural world, this closeness affects the tides, the currents, and even the pull we feel in our own bodies. But in the spirit, it is a prophetic sign. The blessing that once felt distant is now being drawn nearer than ever before. Just as the moon's gravity pulls the oceans toward it, God's power is pulling His promises into your life. The gap is closing. What once shimmered on the horizon is now almost within reach. This isn't just about astronomy, it's about alignment. The heavens are declaring what is happening in your destiny. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, you will reflect the glory of the one who gives. This closeness in the sky is a mirror of the closeness between you and the fulfillment of what God has spoken over you. And when that day comes, you will feel it, not just in the events around you, but deep in your spirit. In the days leading up to August 14th, you may feel a stirring inside, as if your spirit is already aware of the shift. There may be dreams that seem unusually vivid, thoughts that come with sudden clarity, or emotions that rise unexpectedly. This is the spiritual tide moving. Don't resist it. Let it wash over you, because it's carrying away the remnants of the old season and making space for the new. And when the day arrives, you will stand at the shore of your destiny and watch as the waves bring in what you have been praying for. On that day, be intentional. Wake up with expectation. Spend time in prayer before you step into your routine. Speak life over yourself and your future. As the moon hovers closer to Earth, imagine the blessing hovering close to your life, just waiting for the moment to settle into your hands. You don't have to force it. You only have to be in position to receive it. And don't be surprised if the events of August 14th unfold in ways you didn't expect. Sometimes the biggest blessings arrive, wrapped in the ordinary. A casual conversation could carry a life-changing opportunity. A small shift in your schedule could lead you to meet the right person at the right time. Pay attention to the details, because God is in them. Every encounter, every open door, every moment of favor will be part of His design. You may also notice an unusual peace that day, even if circumstances around you aren't perfect. That's because the nearness of your blessing will quiet the noise of fear. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from everything being fixed, but from knowing that God is fully in control. Hold on to that peace. Let it guide you into the new season. August 14th will be remembered, not just as the day God gave you something big, but as the day you realized how perfectly He weaves the natural and the spiritual together to deliver His promises. The moon will move away again in its orbit, but what God brings into your life will remain. This is not a fleeting moment. It's the start of a lasting change. You will walk differently after this. You will see yourself differently, and those around you will see the evidence of God's hand upon you. When the moment comes, give Him the glory. Tell your story. Share the testimony of what He has done, because your breakthrough will be the seed of faith for someone else's miracle. And as you look back, you will see that He never left you waiting in vain. Every delay had purpose. Every battle prepared you. Every tear watered the ground for this blessing to grow. And now, at the appointed time, heaven has drawn near. So when you step into Thursday, step in boldly. The same God who set the moon's path has set yours. And just as the moon will be at its closest, so will His promise to you. Reach out, receive it, and know that this is your time. August 14th will not just mark your calendar, it will mark your life. It will not be a one-time event. It will be the start of a series of shifts, each one building on the other, carrying you further into the place you were always meant to be. Some of these changes will be obvious, opportunities that align so perfectly you'll know they were orchestrated. Others will be subtle, attitudes shifting in your favor, resistance melting away, doors you didn't even knock on beginning to open. Every one of these will trace back to that day, the moment heaven leaned in closer, the moment your season turned. You will also realize that the waiting was never wasted. The battles that felt endless were actually the training ground that strengthened you to carry what's coming. If the blessing had arrived too soon, you might not have been ready, but now you are. The faith you've built, the perseverance you've learned, the discernment you've gained, these are the very tools you'll need to steward the gift well. August 14th is not the end of your struggle, it's the beginning of your stewardship over something precious. And because it's precious, it must be protected. Not everyone will understand what God has done for you. Some may even question it, envy it, or try to diminish it. That's why you must remain anchored in the truth. You know this came from God, and no one can take it away. Guard it with prayer. Cover it with gratitude. Refuse to let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others weaken your confidence in what He has given you. As the days and weeks unfold after August 14th, keep your eyes open for confirmations. God will often send small signs to reassure you that you are still on the right path. It might be a verse you read that speaks directly to your situation, a dream that brings clarity, or an unexpected act of kindness that reminds you He is still guiding the journey. These moments are like breadcrumbs leading you forward, reminders that you are not walking this out alone. There will be moments when you look up at the moon in the night sky and remember the closeness of that day, and it will stir gratitude all over again. You'll be reminded that just as the moon returns to perigee in its cycle, God's faithfulness is constant, drawing near again and again at the exact moments you need Him most. This memory will become a milestone in your faith, a point you can return to whenever life feels uncertain. You will be able to say, if He did it then, He can do it again. And perhaps the most powerful change will be in how you see yourself. On August 14th, you will not only receive something big, you will step into a new understanding of your worth, your calling, and your place in God's plan. The struggles you endured will no longer define you by their weight, but by the strength they produced. You will walk with a quiet authority, knowing you are living proof that God keeps His word. So, as the day approaches, prepare yourself not only to receive, but to carry forward what is given. Speak life over your future. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your breakthrough, not those who resent it. Keep your spirit humble, your heart open, and your faith alive. because this is just the beginning. The tide has turned, the moon has drawn close, and heaven's blessing is in motion. When you wake up on that morning, remember this: the same God who hung the moon and set it in motion has aligned this day for you. Step into it with courage. Welcome it with gratitude. Live it fully, because August 14th will not just be another date. It will be the day that everything changed. When August 14th arrives, I want you to treat it differently than any other day. Don't rush into it like an ordinary Thursday. Before the sun even rises, take a moment to center yourself. Step away from your phone, the noise and the distractions, and give the first words of your day to God. Thank Him for what He has done, even before you see it with your eyes. Gratitude in advance is an act of faith, and faith is the key that unlocks the blessing that's been prepared for you. When you pray that morning, be specific. Speak out the desires of your heart without fear. Declare that you are ready, that you accept what He is placing in your hands, and that you will use it for His glory. Ask for clarity, so you can recognize the moment when it comes, and for wisdom so you will know exactly what to do when it arrives. If you can, spend a few moments in stillness. Just breathe, and imagine the nearness of the moon that night, how it will hang closer to the earth than usual, how its pull will be strong and steady. Let that image remind you of how close your blessing is, how inevitable it is, how nothing can stop it now. Feel the peace that comes with that truth, and let it settle deep in your spirit as you move through your day. Stay alert. This is not the day to be so busy that you miss the divine appointment set for you. That unexpected phone call, answer it. The random conversation in a store, listen closely. The thought that comes to you while you're driving, write it down. God moves in ways that sometimes look ordinary on the surface, but they are packed with purpose underneath. Also, keep your heart open. The blessing may not arrive in the package you expect. Sometimes what we've been praying for comes disguised, an opportunity that doesn't look like what we pictured, a conversation that at first feels small, but later changes everything. Don't dismiss anything too quickly. On August 14th, every detail has the potential to be divine. At some point during the day, take a moment to step outside and look up at the sky. Let the sight of the moon remind you that the same Creator who set it in place has set this day apart for you. Whisper a prayer right then, sealing the moment in your heart. And when you feel the shift, whether it's a tangible change in your circumstances or a deep change within, acknowledge it immediately. Say out loud, "Thank you, God, I receive it." That verbal agreement in the moment is powerful, and when night falls and the moon is closest in its orbit, take one more moment to reflect. Think of everything you have been through to reach this point. The battles fought, the tears cried, the faith stretched. Recognize that you are standing on the other side of seasons you thought would never end. Let that awareness fill you with awe. This is not just the end of a long wait. It is the beginning of a new era in your life. From this day forward, carry the memory of August 14th as a reminder that God's timing is perfect. When the next season of waiting comes, you will look back on this and know that delays are not denials, that the same God who came through then will come through again. This Thursday will pass like all others on the clock, but in your spirit, it will remain forever. It will be a milestone you revisit, a story you tell, a moment that marks the turning point in your journey. So rise on August 14th, ready, expectant and unshaken, because heaven is drawing near, the tide is in your favor, and what God has promised is no longer on the way, it is here. Most people will overlook the signs. They will write them off as coincidence, random chance, or just another day. But you cannot ignore the message from God. When heaven speaks, the chosen recognize the voice. There will be moments on August 14th that seem small to everyone else, but will resound in your spirit, like a bell ringing in the quiet. You will know, not with your mind, but deep in your soul, that this is Him. The signs will not scream, they will whisper, A word from a stranger that cuts through the noise and lands in your heart. A perfectly timed opportunity that seems to appear out of nowhere. A sudden lifting of a heaviness you didn't even realize you were carrying. Most will walk past these moments without noticing, but you will stop, because you have been waiting for this. You have been trained in the quiet seasons, to hear his voice in the stillness. Do not let the world's distractions steal your focus. On that day, be intentional about listening. Look for the patterns, the alignments, the too perfect to be coincidence moments. Remember that the same God who set the moon at its closest orbit point on this day has set blessings into motion in your life that are perfectly timed and perfectly placed. And when they arrive, they will carry a weight, a peace, and a clarity that the world cannot replicate. And when you see it, acknowledge it. Whisper, "I see you, God." Let him know you recognize his hand in the moment. That acknowledgement is like opening the door wider, inviting even more of his goodness into your life. What you honor, you attract, and honoring his work in your life draws more of it toward you. The days and weeks after August 14th will confirm what happened. Opportunities will build on opportunities, relationships will strengthen, provision will flow, peace will deepen, and you will realize that this wasn't just a blessing, it was a repositioning. God didn't just give you something, he moved you to a place where more can continue to come. So when the moon rises that night, closer and brighter than usual, let it be a reminder, not just of the science of its orbit, but of the faithfulness of the one who created it. If he can move the heavens with such precision, he can move your life with the same care. This is not the end of your story. It's the moment it begins to unfold in ways you couldn't have imagined. Chosen one, don't miss the signs, don't downplay the blessing, don't hide the testimony. August 14th will be the day God gives you something big, but it will also be the day you step into a new level of awareness, authority, and anointing. And once you've seen him move like this, you will never see life the same way again, because after August 14th, there will be no going back. Once your eyes have seen what God can do in a moment, the ordinary will never satisfy you again. You will walk with a different posture, speak with a different confidence, and live with a different hope. People will notice the change, even if they don't know the story. They will see the light in your eyes, the peace in your steps, and the certainty in your words. And you will know this is what happens when heaven touches earth in your life. The road that brought you here was not easy. You were tested, stretched, refined. There were nights you questioned everything, days you thought you couldn't go any further. But now you see the truth. Every obstacle was a stepping stone. Every delay was a preparation. Every tear was watering the ground for this harvest. And now the season has come. So as the moon draws near in the night sky, let it be a seal over this chapter of your life, a reminder that God draws near to you in the same way. Just as the moon cannot resist the pull of its orbit, God's promises cannot resist the appointed time. And when that time comes, nothing can keep them from reaching you. Walk into August 14th with open hands and an open heart. Expect the unexpected. Embrace the unfamiliar. And when the moment comes, whether it's a conversation, a connection, a provision, or a shift inside your spirit, say, "Yes, Lord, I receive it." That is your agreement with heaven. That is the moment everything changes. And after it happens, never stop telling the story, because your testimony will be the light for someone else's darkness, the proof that God still moves, still answers, still fulfills his promises. What he begins in you on August 14th will echo into eternity, touching lives you may never even meet. So be ready, chosen one. The signs are aligning, the tide is rising, the moon is drawing close. Heaven's delivery is already in motion, and in just a short while, you will stand in the middle of what you once only prayed for, and you will know it was worth every moment of the wait. And as we come to the end of this message, I want to remind you of something. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of what's coming, to fix your eyes on the blessing itself. But never forget, the true gift is not just what God gives you, it's the relationship you have with Him through it all. The blessing is proof of His love, but His presence is the greatest blessing of all. Every answered prayer is simply another way He draws you closer, another invitation to trust Him more deeply, to walk with Him more closely, to hear His voice more clearly. When August 14th arrives and the shift happens, I don't want you to only celebrate the breakthrough. I want you to pause, breathe, and acknowledge the journey it took to get here. Remember the nights you were on your knees, wondering if He heard you. Remember the moments you were about to give up, but something inside whispered, "Hold on." Those whispers were Him. Those moments of unexpected strength were Him. And now, as the moon draws near in the heavens, He is drawing near to you with a blessing that matches the battles you fought. Think about the moon on that night, full, close, luminous. The world will see it as just another astronomical event, but you will see it as a personal message from heaven. What was far is now near. What felt impossible is now here. And as you stand under that glow, you'll realize this isn't just about receiving something material or even emotional. It's about stepping into alignment with the purpose you were created for. God isn't just answering a prayer, He's positioning you for everything that comes next. And here's something else I need you to hold on to. After August 14th, keep walking as if you are still in that moment. Too many people experience a breakthrough and then slip back into old patterns, letting the memory fade. Don't let that happen to you. Write it down. Journal what happened, how you felt, what shifted inside you. Document the signs you saw that day, the conversations, the timing, the little details that made you say, "Only God could have arranged this." These records will become anchors for you in the future. When your faith is tested again, you'll be able to look back and say, "I know He will come through for me again, because He did it before." And when you share your story, and you must do it boldly, someone in your life is right now where you were months or years ago, tired, doubtful, wondering if God has forgotten them. Your testimony may be the very thing that keeps them holding on one more day. You might never know the full impact of your words, but heaven will, and your obedience to share what He has done will multiply the fruit of the blessing you've received. So, as you step into August 14th, remember you are not walking into an ordinary day. You are stepping into an appointed time, written in heaven, confirmed in the heavens, and sealed with His promise. The moon will draw close to the earth, but God Himself is drawing even closer to you. And when you open your hands to receive what He's bringing, you'll understand that the wait was not a punishment, it was preparation. The tears were not wasted, they watered the soil. The battles did not break you, they built you. This is the day you'll look back on for the rest of your life, the day the tide turned, the day the promise became reality, the day heaven drew near. And from this point forward, every time you see the moon shining in the night sky, you'll remember that's the night my life changed. Thank you for watching. This message reached you today because this is the moment you needed it most. It's not an accident you heard these words. Heaven's timing is always perfect. You may have felt weary, unsure, or even forgotten, but God wanted you to know that He has not overlooked a single detail of your journey. He is closer than you think, and the blessing you've been waiting for is already on its way. So hold on to this word. Let it guide you through the days ahead. Let it prepare your heart for August 14th, and let it remind you that you are seen, you are loved, and you are chosen. The same God who brought this message to you will bring the promise to you, and when it happens, you'll know it was always meant for you, and it came exactly when you needed it.